Here's a weather outlook for Southeast Alaska from the National Weather Service in Juno, Alaska. Hello everyone, meteorologist Grant Smith here with the National Weather Service here in Juno. We've got an active forecast going into your Friday and Saturday, and we just sent the forecast update to the website, but there's just so many pieces to this forecast. Just want to make a quick video discussion about this. This is not an exhaustive discussion. There are going to be some areas we're not going to get to talk about. You can get those forecast details at weather.gov/Juno. So for starting, we've got this high wind warning that's going to be in effect from 7 p.m. Friday to 7 a.m. Saturday for Prince of Wales Island. And if we had to narrow it down more, it would be the western, maybe even the southwestern portion of Prince of Wales Island. So maybe the Heidelberg and Klawock areas. That's where we're most likely going to see the wind gusts to 60 miles per hour. The eastern half is still going to see some strong gusts during that time period, but just not as strong. Maybe more 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts as those winds cruise up Clarence Strait there. But that's kind of what we're thinking about, just something to keep in mind, the impacts of these gusty winds. Travel could be difficult, especially for marine areas. And then the high winds could blow around some things that could easily be blown around if they're not tied down. So let's take a look at this video here. Hopefully this tries to help show what we're seeing. So for starters there, we got in the middle, they got this spinning low. This front's going to swing up, and as it swings to the north, it's going to bring the first round of the gusty winds, and it's going to be highlighting mainly there in the Prince of Wales Island. It doesn't mean we're not going to see gusty winds elsewhere. It's just that's going to be there. It's going to see the most winds. So Ketchikan, Metlakatla still could see some of those gusty winds during this time. So the front's going to swing to the north, and then as it does, the low kind of pulls away, so the front gets sheared apart. And so we could actually see a decrease in the gusty winds when that front swings and then shears apart. And so that's just the first part. That's just for as the front comes up late Friday into Saturday. Now, the second half of this forecast is that front begins to spin and move eastward in toward the Canada area. So let me get that pulled up here. There, it starts to load for me. So the front comes up, gets sheared apart, and the low starts to spin and move toward the Canada area. That's when we'll get another push of gusty winds coming up into the southern regions of the Panhandle. So that's where, once again, Prince of Wales Island could see those gusty winds, just not as strong, but still, upwards of 30, 40, isolated areas getting up to 40 to 50. But then also Metlakatla, Ketchikan, Clarence Strait, those areas could see those gusty winds again as that front exits the area late Saturday into Saturday night. So once again, that's where we could see that secondary push of those gusty winds. At this point, as of this recording, Thursday afternoon, not expecting to see high winds, so 60 mile per hour wind gusts, but still 40 to 50, 55 mile per hour wind gusts. That could still blow around some things. And so just something to think about as we go into the next couple of days on Friday into Saturday. Other parts of Southeast Alaska, because this is not just the only area. As that low sits in the southern Gulf, we're going to have outflow winds in the northern parts of the Panhandle. So we're going to have a whole different set of impacts here. For starters, the Juno area could see some gusty winds downtown, upwards of 35 to 45, and even up to 50 miles per hour wind gusts just in the downtown and Douglas area. You get farther north out the road, Mendenhall Valley, kind of a normal, typical day, not seeing quite as strong of gusty winds. We'll keep an eye on this because this is kind of a Taku event. And so if the winds can really get down from the mountain and get down into downtown, we could see much stronger wind speeds than just these 40 to 50 mile per hour wind speeds we have in the forecast. So we'll keep a close eye on this, but for now, that's kind of what we're thinking for the Juno area. Farther north, Skagway, strong outflow winds, still bringing in those gusty winds of 35 to 45 miles per hour there in the Skagway up to White Pass right along the highway there. Haines Highway, at this point, not sighting quite as strong of wind speeds, but just as those winds fly through the area, kind of flowing outflow, that's where we could see those gusty winds. And so parts of the Haines area could see some gusty winds. In addition, we have Lin Canal. As that air rushes out from Canada, going to be seeing some strong outflow winds in the Lin Canal area, seeing those gales. This year is in miles per hour, but strong gales in the area, gusts even higher than that. So we've got a low to the south bringing precip, rain, and wind, and also the far northern half of the Panhandle also seeing some strong winds for those areas as well. So the 5-day outlook. Biggest impacts is from this first low coming in Friday into Saturday. Strong low in the eastern Gulf, increasing the winds and precip. As far as the precipitation amounts, it's not expecting to see a lot here. We're thinking kind of 1 to 2 inches of rain in the southern areas, mainly south of Frederick Sound. 1 to 2 inches over 24 hours. So this is 2 time periods, so 2 to 4 over the whole time. That's pretty normal, pretty typical for this time of year. But that's just something to keep in mind. It's going to be raining, and the rain is going to be coming in sideways, and so that could have some impacts. But flooding, not thinking that at this time. And then as the low exits, brief ridge builds, decreasing clouds on Sunday. Monday is looking pretty nice, and then just a quick glance into next week, Tuesday into Wednesday. The next round approaches, bringing the next round of rain and wind. So we'll keep an eye on that. So for now, I'm going to leave it up. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. We'll try to get back to you. And you can always get more forecast details at weather.gov/Juno. Thank you.